Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris is back with some more Hearthstone Arena. In the last video, I'll spoil it. I made it to 12 wins with Druid, which was awesome. Then I started this Shaman run, and it looks like a good deck. Now, the Druid run spanned, I think, like 4 videos, because it, started at the end of a video where I finished up a run, and then it continued. And then there was a break for me to have relationship issues and break up with my girlfriend. And then I continued it, and I'd forgotten everything that happened. Apparently that 12-win deck started out really terribly, and I was whining in the video how I thought it was a good deck and how I really believed that it could do well. And I'd forgotten all that, and I just played from 5-2 up to 12-2, and it was awesome, and I won. So apparently I was right, and that my deck was actually a good one. Anyway, this deck I also think is good, and I lost the first game, but I still think it's a good deck. And in response to Goldshire Footman, I'm going to play the Grunt. Now, if he had passed on turn 1, I would have played the Murloc Tidehunter, but this seems like a foolish thing to play in front of Goldshire Footman, because the Goldshire Footman will kill both of these Murlocs by itself, whereas the Grunt will actually kill the Goldshire Footman and leave. So one of the many, many, many reasons why I do not like Murloc Tidehunter. Alright, he plays a Bloodfen Raptor, which I am pretty okay with, because the Grunt will kill Mr. Footman here, and I can play the Tidehunter now. However, the problem with this is then he can play Unleash the Hounds, which is still a good card. That would just kill the Grunt, the Tidehunter, and the minion, and then he could just attack me with the Raptor. The Geomancer is a bit of a safer play. This wouldn't give me as much board presence as the Tidehunter, nor would it give me as much of an advantage if I played the Raid Leader the following turn. But it wouldn't be so vulnerable to Unleash the Hounds. I'm going to do this. I don't know if this is the right play, but I'm basically just gambling he doesn't have Unleash the Hounds here. Or that if he does, him using it now is a compensation for him not using it later, because I do think it's such a huge advantage to get all these board presence out and be able to play Raid Leader. Okay, no Hounds. He top-decked Animal Companion. Got the Leok, which I'm glad to see because that makes no difference. And the Grunt was just like a friggin' MVP here. It killed Goldshire Footman and the Raptor as well. So I just actually got card advantage off of a Grunt. That is really ridiculous. But it's not so much like I played well or anything. It's just, a function of having the right card at the right time. Here I think it's time to press the advantage. There is a drawback to this move, which is that I cannot play the Stormwind Knight the following turn. But I think for the board advantage that I'm getting here, it's pretty worth it. I mean, he's got 4 cards. I have 6, and that was just the 3rd turn. So it's looking pretty slick here. I could play Raid Leader, again exposing myself more and more to Unleash the Hounds, but it's not as big a deal to expose yourself to Unleash the Hounds as it used to be, because Buzzard is now 5 mana, of course, and so I'm just not that concerned. Okay, here I think my move is extremely straightforward. We play the Raid Leader, and I'm essentially just going to, with the help of this Raid Leader, trade my Tidehunter and his Scout for the Golem. So he technically got a 2-for-1 there with that Golem, but he traded a 2-3 that respawns for a 2-1 and a 1-1, and I'm okay with that trade. So I haven't really been playing good cards. I've been playing a Geomancer, a Grunt, a Raid Leader, a Murloc Tidehunter. Like, every card I've played is garbage. It just well, not garbage, but every card I've played is, mediocre. And yet, they've just been the right cards for the situation. Quite a remarkable game. I'm really kind of awed by how well this game is going. I could still lose it, of course, but I find it very remarkable. We're going to go ahead and keep on going for board presence. Use the Stormwind Knight to kill off the Stormpike, attack the Geomancer. So the Stormwind Knight is the first good card I've played. Yeah, the Geomancer gave me Lightning Bolt to kill the Leok for 4 damage. The Murloc Tidehunter helped me kill the Harvest Golem. The Raid Leader buffed those things to make the kill possible. Alright, now my opponent finally gets a bit of luck. So here, this Grizzly is really good against my creatures because they only deal 2 damage. So I've got a couple of different options here. I could play the Feral Spirit. What I think I'm going to do instead, though, is I'm actually going to Panda the Knight, replay him, and then throw him and the Geomancer at the Panda. My thinking with this is that it's risky for Explosive Trap and Multi-Shot, but I'd rather do that than throw both of them away and just have to put 1 creature down. Because if I had thrown... Ah, crap. Alright, so my opponent's, getting back into it now. He's got the right cards with the Grizzly and the Kodo here. I got a couple different options. So I could play Stormforged Axe and just use the Panda plus the Axe to kill the Kodo. And then I could also play the Tiger. The problem, of course, there is Deadly Shot. I could also play Violet Teacher Feral Spirit. It doesn't really take care of the Kodo, and it does expose me to Unleash the Hounds, where Buzzard plus Hounds for 8 mana would then give him 5 cards, and I'd probably lose the game. I think this is the move. I don't want to lose to Hounds, and you know what, it just hasn't... There hasn't been enough time. I don't know how risky it is. Like, I don't know how many people are still playing Buzzards. But I do know that my opponent's actually caught up now. It's 4-4. I've got this weapon, but I'm at 23 health. Got to be a little bit careful against damaging yourself too much versus a Hunter. And my deck, I don't think, has that much card draw. It's got, like, a Gnomish Inventor. And other than that, the only card advantage I get is by minions trading up. Wow. So this game might not, I don't know, it might not look that exciting, but I feel like this has been a really tremendous game of Hearthstone where I've played unremarkable cards early on and gotten advantage, just because they happen to be the perfect cards for the situation. But then my opponent got the right cards for the situation, and he's caught up. I was like a couple cards ahead, but now we are dead even. Granted, I think I have the advantage because I've got the stealthed 5/5. And, if you can't make a good play here, I will just start swinging out ahead. I've also got a really good play with Violet Teacher plus Feral Spirit. The risk, of course, is that these 2 cards by themselves will produce 4 minions. And again, if people are still actually playing Buzzards, that plus Hounds would give them a lot of cards and probably win them the game. It would give him more cards than I have. Alright, so this is a good card for him because it kills my Tiger and it heals him up. So I have to decide whether I want to do the trade, even though I don't really want to. This is the one time like a 5/4 is better than a 4/5. Is he going to Steady Shot? Oh wow, he actually missed the Steady Shot here. He had 2 mana, could have Steady Shotted. Alright, so I could Hex this if I wished. But I don't wish. We're going to do this and this. And I am going to trade the Tiger for the Priestess to at least reduce how many Hounds he's going to get. I've got a Hex, which is good if he drops anything really big. That'll be nice. If he drops a bunch of small stuff, though, I might be in trouble. If he drops 3 health minions, I could be in a bit of trouble, because the only thing I have that deals with 3 health is this Violet Teacher. These guys only deal 2 damage. So I really want him to either play one big thing, or things that will die to my Spirit Wolves. If he plays a bunch of stuff with like 3 health, like a pair of 2/3s and a 3/3 or something like that, something that humble would actually be pretty tricky for me to come out ahead against. Very surprised he missed a Steady Shot last turn. He could have gone AFK, I suppose. That would be a shame because it's anyone's game here. Anyone's game. If he plays Buzzard Hounds, that's 8 mana, it would be 4 cards. The Hounds, well, wouldn't do that much damage. They'd kill 1 wolf and tickle another. But he'd get 4 cards, which is, 4 cards for playing 2, pretty good. Never minding all the creatures you have. Remember, the Buzzard now is a 3/2 instead of a 2/1, so it would be difficult to kill as well. It'd have to take damage or whatever. He's not hovering over anything. He was frantically, hovering over things at the end of his last turn. He's not hovering over anything now. Alright, there he is. We just saw the little blink over Steady Shot, so he is back from getting a sandwich or going to the bathroom or whatever. Is he going to do something, though? Is he griefing me? I don't understand. He's here. I saw him hover over the Steady Shot. Maybe he has a bug and he thinks I'm hacking him. Sorry, Morgulus, I am not hacking you. So do you play the Zombie Chow here? I mean, if he had Unleashed the Hounds, he would have played it. Okay, well, that was a really interesting game. On the one hand, it started out really great, then it went kind of south, and then it was kind of up in the air, where if he had the right card, I could have lost. But then he went AFK and conceded. So I don't exactly understand what's going on, but we won, which is nice. And I'm at 9,900. When I started this Naxrammas Arena series, I was actually below 9,000. And now I'm about to break 10,000. Papa Boris has still got it, folks. He's still got it. So I've actually played 17 runs. My average number of wins is 6.6, but it's been extremely swingy. I actually have only had 1 run go to 6 and 1 go to 7 and 2 go to 5. So I've actually not been getting around 6 very often. It's all been 1, 2, 3 or 9, 10, 12. Still no 11s. Alright, this is a pretty nice hand. We're up against a mage. I'm going to mulligan the Lightning Storm. This deck has a lot of removal, and I've got Stormforged Axe, which is kind of like a Lightning Storm over many turns. I don't want to have that thing happen again where I just like keep all my removal and then can't do anything. Alright, so my little quote-unquote MVPs, the 2/2s for 2, are back. Let's see if they can do as well against the mage as they could against the hunter. Alright, she, Anime Babe 69. Anime Babe 69. Really? Anime Babe 69. Oh my god. You've got to be kidding me. Alright. I could Stormforge Dax this thing. And then... No, I need to get a creature out. I think I need to get this creature out here. She can, of course, ping it and throw the spider at it and pop 2 spiders out. I think I'm okay with that, though. Because what I can do is I can play the Panther, which will be stealthy, let her spiders plank at me, and then I can play the Geomancer and the Stormforged Axe and start bringing the spiders down. This is a good card, though, for her in this circumstance. I would have rather she played a 3/2 than the spiders, obviously, because then she wouldn't have had these spiders left over. Alright, so here's the Panther. That should hopefully live. Hope or trade for something better. I'm definitely not off to a good start this game, though. She had the right answer to my mediocre 2-drops. That is a flaw in this deck I don't think I realized, is there's just too many weak cards. Too many things like, you know, Geomancer, Frostwolf Grunt, Raid Leader. Just not top-notch cards. Alright, so we'll hit that guy. And I could play the Geomancer here, but I'm actually going to go for a Totem instead. We'll see what Totem we get before we decide anything else. A 1/1 is really, really good. I'm actually going to hit her in the face. If I kill one of these spiders, that prevents the possibility of her playing a Raid Leader or a Shattered Sun Cleric or something and getting a 1-for-1 versus this Panther, but she's going to like throw the spiders at this guy anyway. Most likely. I feel like I'm behind, and when you're behind, you got to take risks. Alright, so she's going to Cone of Cold to kill off my Totem and freeze my Panther. Now the 1/1 Totem was unfortunate, but she did end up throwing the spider at my Panther, so I, you know, snuck 2 damage in there. I think here I'm just going to make the most straightforward play. I'm just going to play the Panda, kill off the spider. I got a 5/4. So I got a weapon and a 5/4, 23 health, just like I was against the hunter. Got to be careful about hitting anything else with this axe. She has 6 cards to my 6. Got the Hex if she plays anything big. So things are alright. What I hope she does not have is removal for this, because I want this guy to hit her a couple of times. Silverhand Knight. Ah, that's unfortunate.
Ready, sir.
So that will trade with my Panda. If I play the Stormwind Knight, I could kill the Squire, but then my Panda would die to the Silverhand Knight, which is unfortunate. Here I'd rather have a 4/5 than a 5/4, as you can see. If I play the Stormwind Knight, I could actually run him at the Silverhand Knight and hit this guy going below 20 health, which I'm not a big fan of. Then I could hit her for 5 damage. I could play the Silverhand Knight. Alright, let's make a Totem. Let's see what Totem we get. I'm definitely going to make a Totem, so let's see what that is first. Spell damage. That's not helpful. So do I go for Board Presence, risking my health, or do I preserve my health and sacrifice Board Presence? Alright, I don't know if this is the right decision, but it's the one I'm going to make. I'm going to go for Board Presence at the expense of health. She could play a Blizzard now, and that would make my last turn a very bad one, but I feel like it was worth the risk. Got Board Presence now. She can, of course, ping this thing. She's going to draw a card. Oh, that's a really good card. God damn it. So now she gets to kill this, play a 2/4, kills my 5/2. That's awkward. I don't have any good answers to this. I need a Lightning Bolt. Don't have one. Alright, well, Sea Giant seems like an easy call here. And I will hit her in the face for 5. Let her figure out what she wants to do. She can either kill my spell damage totem, but then my 5/2 keeps pounding her. She has Polymorph. That's unfortunate. No, she doesn't have Polymorph. I lucked out. So Polymorph is what she wanted to have. Fireball's not quite good enough because she has to throw the Gnomish Adventure away. Is she going to get a free secret? She could. A lot of people play secrets nowadays. Oh, I think she is. She's going to get a secret. Okay. So I could actually do a very frivolous hex on this mage. A very frivolous hex. Or I could keep racing with the panda. I don't think that's smart, though, to keep racing with the panda. So what I'm going to do is the following. I'm first of all going to play a raid leader to see if that is a mirror entity. It's not a mirror entity. Okay. Then I'm gonna really wish I had a lightning bolt or a rock rider weapon so I could kill this thing without having to use my panda. Then I'm going to check for ice armor / vaporize with the spell damage totem. It's neither of those. Okay, so it could be counterspell, spellbender, ice block, or duplicate, and the most likely one of those is duplicate. Do I dare go for a race here? Knowing that she could play a flame strike and clear my board, I can't. I have to trade. So let's trigger the duplicate. Yep, it's duplicate. Okay. We're going to make a totem. And think, do I actually play the Geomancer here, stretching out against Flame Strike? I feel like I'm behind with these weak cards. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk the mass removal. Because if she doesn't have the Flame Strike right now, I do have a lot of damage here. Even after she kills this thing off, this is still 6 damage. Let's see if she's got it. I really wish I had Lightning Storm. Or Lightning Bolt. Alright, no Flame Strike here. She plays one of her Kirin Tor mages. 3 health minions really sucks. And she actually had another secret, which is really obnoxious. That's extremely obnoxious. And she still has 2 mana left over to ping off my Searing Totem, which I really wish this had been any of the other 3. So I haven't quite been getting the luck I need in this particular game. Ah, she has another secret. That's so annoying. She got 2 free secrets out of these guys. Crazed Alchemist. Are you helpful? I can make this 3/2, which doesn't really help. Crazed Alchemist is actually completely unhelpful here. Damn. I could make this... I don't actually know. I think if I swap this, it becomes a... Would it become a 3/3 or a 2/3? Crap. Oh god. Hearthstone mechanics. Okay, so this is getting buffed to be... Is a 2/2 getting buffed to be a 3/2? If I swap it, does it keep the 3? Will it have 3 health? Because if it does, then this would become a 3/3. Alright, we'll find out for science if this becomes a 2/3 or a 3/3. Let's see. It actually becomes a 3/3. I did not know that. Okay, well, let's kill the dude. Or I could hex this, kill it with the totem, and then kill that thing. Alright, we're going to use a hex. Hope it's not a counterspell. It is! It's a counterspell. Well, I could still use my other hex. It's getting a bit too frivolous, though. So, shit. Alright, let's do this. Alright, taunt is really, really good. So I'm going to use the Geomancer to kill that. We're going to hit her in the face. I'm going to play Panda. And save the Geomancer from being pinged. Now I definitely lose if she plays Flame Strike. There's no question about that. Anime Babe 69. It's not as bad as Tiny Dick the Paladin or Big Ballsack the Priest, but still pretty bad. Okay, no Flame Strike, but she could still play Blizzard if she got it. She's hovering over that card excitedly. Blizzard would also be a ball wrecker. Everything I have is 2 health. No Blizzard. She, like I used a Frivolous Hex, uses a Frivolous Polymorph to kill my raid leader. That does, of course, mean I do much less damage. I have not seen a raid leader get polymorphed in a while. And now she can ping off my sheep. Yep. Okay. Racing is weird. I can get her down to 12. With these cards, that doesn't seem that good. Faceless Manipulator. Oh god, what could this have been? Could have been a Farsight. I would actually rather have Farsight right now than Faceless Manipulator, so that's unfortunate. Well, what I'm going to do here is make a totem. Play back the Geomancer. She seems not to have any mass removal, or she would have definitely played it, because it would have been game winning. And I'm going to hit her in the face. So there is one glimmer of hope here, although my cards are very weak. And I don't have any Bloodlusts or my Raid Leader's dead, so these totems are not going to be useful. There's one glimmer of hope, which is that if she plays a big thing, I can actually copy it and then hex it. So that would be cool. Like if she played Deathwing, I'd win the game. Probably. Unless she top decked a Polymorph, but you got what I'm saying. I could do pretty well. Argent Commander is potentially a good thing to facelessly manipulate. She get another secret. Is she? Oh my god! Are you kidding me? She actually got 3 free secrets out of those Kirin Tor mages. Are you kidding? Is she gonna play Arcane Missile here? That would be very annoying. No, just Zombie Chow. All right, that's a 2/3 though. It's good against my board of 2/2s. And she has another secret. You've got to be kidding me. Well, we're gonna definitely copy this guy. Hopefully, it's not a mirror entity. not a mirror entity. Good. Then I think I'm just going to hex him because he's a really good creature. Are you goddamn kidding me? Oh my god. One hex got counterspelled, one hex got spellbent. Wow, that is obnoxious. Gonna flip a totem, hoping to get a taunt. Did not get a taunt. Do this. Now I have to think really carefully. I could race her down to 9 and just hope I draw enough burn, although I'd have to draw 2 burn cards to do it. If I let her do the trading, it's going to be really, really bad. Or I could kill off this thing popping up. You know what? I think I have to race. Wow. So the Kirin Mage got duplicated. She then replayed each one, getting a counterspell and a spellbender, stopping me from being able to use my hexes. I could still come back if I got Lightning Storm, which I should have kept in my opening hand, apparently. Or if I get, like, Lava Burst, followed by more burn. I don't know. I think all my creatures are going to die, right? All my creatures are going to die, is the problem. This game was ridiculous. I kind of admire it. It was a pretty, you know, exciting game to watch. But I couldn't quite burn her down enough. Yeah, everything I have is going to die. Should have probably played this Berserker instead of making a totem. Yeah, because then this Berserker could have actually survived. Yeah, that was a big mistake. So we have Fire Elemental here. Does she kill me? 7, 8, 10, 18. I'm actually dead if I do not kill at least one of her creatures. Well, I have a 50-50 chance of getting taunts. Missed it. If I hit one of her creatures with this Fire Elemental, though, I will definitely lose. So I'm going to Fire Elemental her face, play a Berserker, and hope that she's bamboozled and doesn't realize she has lethal damage. She might miss that. I do have 19 health. It seems like a large number. She has 15, 17, 18. Yes, she kills me with her creatures plus a ping from her hero ability. Let's see if she realizes that or not. Okay, she's drawing a card. So now, that means that she did not see that she had the kill, unless she's bad-mannering me. Now she's going to be 1 shy of killing me. Alright, she's pinging my Fire Elemental, so she definitely missed the fact that she had the kill. Now I actually have a shot in hell of winning. The shot in hell I have is if I top deck Lava Burst and flip a spell damage totem, I will actually win. I got a Fire Elemental, so I'm going to leave her at 3 health. Now I don't think there's any chance she would miss the fact that she has the kill. Let's hope I get a taunt again. Got the spell damage. Let's see. She has 7, 10, 13. There's no way she's going to miss that she has the win, but if I Fire Elemental the Fairy Dragon, she still has lethal damage. So I'm just going to go ahead and Fire Elemental her face. Now there's a much smaller probability of her missing the fact that she has the kill. The Frostwolf Warlord gave her 7 power, and that's exactly what she needed here. So she plays a Molten Giant, which is irrelevant because she's going to kill me. She pings the Fire Elemental for no reason, hits me in the face, and I'm dead. I suppose I could have Fire Elemental. You know what? I could have Fire Elemental the Zombie Chow. Then I would have gotten 5 health. That would have probably been the smartest thing to do. I would have gotten 5 health, and then maybe I could have actually survived. So she would have just killed the Fire Elemental, but then I would have had an extra turn to maybe top deck a Lava Burst and flip a spell damage totem. So yes, I actually messed up. I didn't give myself an extra chance of winning. I could have given myself an extra chance of winning by Fire Elementaling her Zombie Chow, which I think would have made it impossible for her to kill me. Although I'm not sure. At least with what she had on the board. And then if I had top deck Lava Burst, I would have won. Wow, that game was frustrating. I feel like I should have won it, but she really got a lot of mileage out of those secrets. If one of my hexes had gone through, I would have won. Then again, if I could have gotten a lightning bolt or a rock biter to change the you suck up her counterspell or spellbender, and I could have used a hex, I would have been okay. Damn. Random deck. I really think this deck is good that I'm playing. Granted, it's got some weak cards at the low levels, like Murloc Tidehunter. But there's so much removal in good endgame that I just can't fathom why it's not doing any better. Alright, we're going to mulligan Hex. It's not good early on, and I've got 2 of them. If I had 1 in the deck, I would have kept it. Okay, well, we have a 1, 2, 3 curve, although it's not exactly as real as it looks. But a 2-4 for 3 is pretty solid. It's just a matter of how well this Murloc Tidehunter holds up. If he just ends up shapeshifting to kill it, then That's one thing. If he has a better response to it, that could be a problem. So I played the Geomancer rather than the Tidehunter, because I'd rather play the Tidehunter on turn 2, so that if he shapeshifts to kill it, he's doing that on turn 3, where it's more likely he'd have a thing he wants to play. See, here he had nothing better to do than to shapeshift anyway. So if I'd played the Tidehunter, he just would have gotten a free kill. Now he's going to have to pay for his kill, as it were, with his third turn. Okay, so he chooses to shapeshift and hit my face. I think it's a bad move to shapeshift and hit the Kobold Geomancer, because you really don't want to kill the Geomancer in that fashion. And he would have hit it, of course, if he had Moonfire, so we have a useful piece of information. He doesn't have Moonfire. Critical, absolutely clutch piece of information to have in any fight against a Druid. I actually have a quest to win 2 games with Shaman. I hope this deck at least can win this game so that I can get the 40 gold from that quest. That would be nice. Innervate, he's getting a 5-drop, and I mulligan my Hex. You know, I should have kept Hex against a Druid. It's going to Starfall. Okay, never mind. The fact that I didn't keep Hex doesn't matter. So this is actually not a big deal. He used Innervate and Starfall, which is 2 cards, to kill 2 cards. That's fine. It does not put him ahead at all. I'm actually ahead because I have essentially the first play now on the empty board. And I'm putting down a pretty good creature. He can come back if he plays a good 4-drop, such as a Senjin or a Yeti. I have the 2-power army here, which is a real problem if the opponent plays high-power creatures. He plays a Razorburn Hunter, which is not too big of a deal. I really wish I had an overload card I could play, like Spirit Wolves, Feral Spirit. Claw? What? Okay. Okay. That's a mistake. That's definitely a mistake. You don't want to, so let me talk about why that move is a mistake at great length. So, number 1, in general, you don't want to damage creatures without killing them because there's a chance they can get healed. For a Shaman, I could get a Healing Totem, I could play a Farseer, and especially not an Undead Elemental, where I could just play any Overload card and it would buff and regain the health. So, that was a silly move. Luckily for him, I don't have a good way to counter it, because Rockbiter is not a Overload card, and I don't want to play it because that would stop me from playing one of my creatures. So I can get a card, or I can charge and kill. I think charging and killing is more valuable. So I'll just hit that. Swing in his face. So the Hunter can now finish off the Elemental, which is sad. But the Knight can at least then finish off the Hunter, and I also got to kill off his little piggy. Fire Elemental, oh how I yearn to play you. Hopefully things don't degrade too far in the next 2 turns. Next turn I can play the Gnomish Inventor and Rockbiter, which could be really good. Ah, good old Mr. Bitey. So he has his own 2-power army. So we're both kind of squaring off with nothing but 2-power creatures. Lava Burst, you're a little late. You're a little late for a very important date. Lightning Storm, okay. So Rockbiter's not that great here. I could put Rockbiter on the Knight and kill the Mechanic. That seems pretty pointless. I'd rather just, you know, finish killing that creature. And pass the turn. Okay, so Fire Elemental's finally here, but he's up to turn 6. First, I may not have the luxury of being able to play Fire Elemental. We'll see. Good feeling to go into an endgame against a Druid holding a Hex. He's got an Ogre. Well, alright, so Fire Elemental's going to have to wait. I have to first hex that Ogre. And I hope I could draw a playable card, because I have nothing else to do at the moment. If I'm hexing that thing. Oh, I have another Fire Elemental. Jesus. Okay, well, it sucks to do this, but I have to do it. I hate that I can't do anything more with my turn than Totem. But that's life. I could have put Rockbiter on this, killed that, and then hexed the Ogre, leaving him with a 0-1 taunt. That might have been better. Well, next turn I can play Fire Elemental and Rockbiter, which can hopefully remove enough of what he plays. And indeed, so this is 4/6, so Fire Elemental plus Rockbiter will kill it. And is he gonna kill my totem? Yeah, he's gonna get my totem to go down. We have a pair of 2/4 squaring off, but I'm gonna have a 6/3. Okay, this is looking good. Tentatively. Oh, Feral Spirit is a turn late. Had I played it last turn, of course, I wouldn't be able to play a Fire Elemental this turn, but I'd have a pair of 2/3s with Tom, which is pretty useful. Okay, so Shaman's excellent 1-mana removal comes to the rescue, and I will just go ahead and hit his face. I could have damaged it to try to get these guys to trade, I suppose. But in general, I don't like to damage the opponent's minions if I'm not killing them. It seems like that usually does not work out well. Right, so you got my Hex to go down. However, I actually have 8 damage here with Elemental plus Lava Burst. That is 9 mana, which I can't do next turn. So if he plays an Ironbark right now, I'd be in a bit of trouble. But if I can get one more turn without an Ironbark, I'll be good. Alright, is he actually going to start going for my face? I'm curious, because he's getting me below 20 health. He could start racing now. No, he's just going to kill off the Elemental. Well, I'm really, really glad to see that. Absolutely thrilled. Because I have an answer to Flesh Eating Ghoul, also known as Fire Elemental number 2. Okay! Well, Fire Elemental number 2 plus the Gnomish Inventor. Excuse me. So basically, he traded Mark of the Wild for Gnomish Inventor. That is if I continue with my plan. I could play the Fire Elemental and Gnomish Inventor, or I could play Lava Burst and just kill this thing straight up. Lava Burst and Feral Spirit would leave me Overload 4. I'd have 5 mana next turn. I could Fire Elemental and Stoneforged Axe to kill this, but that's taking 7 damage. 15 health against a Druid who's almost out of cards. I'm actually okay with that. We're going to do this. Going to keep my Gnomish Inventor alive for the board presence. Gamble that I guess the Druid with just 2 cards. He cannot burn me down. And I've got 2 taunts incoming, so we'll hope this works. I think I actually have the win here unless very remarkable things happen, like Deathwing or something like that. He has shape-shifted a lot this game, definitely more than I have totemed. He's going to swipe, and looks like he's going to return the favor of hitting a really heavy creature with shape-shifting into Fire Elemental. Okay, well I'm really glad I kept this guy alive, because now I can keep on poking away. I definitely would rather have the Gnomish Inventor and 7 less health than the reverse. 7 more health, but no Gnomish Inventor. Okay, this is a pretty good situation. The Violet Teacher was a good top deck. Not only is it a really good body in a top deck war, but he just, has a very good power with the Feral Spirit. And I'm going to hit him in the face with my weapon because it's getting close to burnout. I've got 5 damage here. He's down to 10, and this is, what, 5, 10? I've got lethals with the axe after he shapeshifts. And he only has 2 cards. So a Deathwing would let him actually potentially win unless I top decked my Hex very soon. Because Lava Burst plus or Stoneforged Axe is only 7 damage. He'd be at 8 health, and I wouldn't be able to burn him out in time because Deathwing would kill me in 2 hits, barring lucky taunt flips. So Deathwing would win. I don't know why I keep going on about Deathwing being a winner. I did draft Deathwing in a recent arena run, and it didn't work out very well. I regretted it the whole time. Alright, so he's going to silence my Violet Teacher, which I couldn't care less about because it's still a 3/5, which is really good. Good enough to kill, in fact. Fire Elemental definitely carried me in this game, finally. Earning his keep. Alright, so there's the shapeshift for 1 point of health. And that, as they say, is that. We'll get a little bit of extra insurance in case my arithmetic was wrong with Crazed Alchemist. For 2 extra damage. I don't actually need my axe, but I do need the Lava Burst. Well played. Alright, that's 40 more gold in my coffers. And he thinks that was well played too. Well, that's nice. It's always nice to see polite folks. Alright, well, we're at 2 and 2. We've got a long way to crawl before I can actually stay above 10,000. I think I overvalued this deck. The Druid deck that I thought was so great apparently was great, but this deck seems to have a problem of two sorts. Number 1, creature to spell ratio. It seems like I too often end up with hands that have nothing to do. And number 2, my cheap minions are weak. I've got things like Morlock Tidehunter, Kobold Geomancer, Frostwolf Grunt that just aren't actually very strong in the early game. Now against that Hunter that we beat, they happen to be fantastic, but in general, when you have when I drafted the deck, I just thought, well, I've got a lot of early game and good end game, but I think I dismissed the quality of my early game.
You asked for it.
Or to be more precise, I dismissed the negative effect of the low quality that my early game would have. So again, I have a similar situation where I was given Lightning Storm and Stoneforged Axe, and I mulligan the Storm, because the Stoneforged Axe does what Lightning Storm does, pretty much, and I don't want to end up with too many spells. So I got a Hex, which is good and bad, and I got my other Stoneforged Axe, which is definitely bad. So now I'm basically playing a card down. That second Stoneforged Axe is not going to get used anytime soon. Let's see if she plays a 2-3 or a 3-2. It is a 3-2. So I'll use the Stoneforged Axe to kill it. Oh god, okay. So we've got Mr. Berserker here, and other than that, nothing else. Nothing else is going on. I think this is the new card back. I actually don't like it. I think it's really ugly. I'm just going to hang on to the the ice crown, whatever it's called, the icy one. I think my favorite is still the Pandario ice color the back, like the red and gold. Looks nice. Alright, so she didn't have anything good to do except play an Argent Squire, which I'm pretty happy about. I got a creature, which is not a good one, but at least it's something, which I'm happy about. And I will ping off this Divine Shield so that if, for example, she were to play, say, an Abusive Sergeant, this thing wouldn't just kill my Berserker and just pop the shield, but it would actually die. Alright, here's a secret. I guess no one told her that secrets are no fun. Secrets hurt someone. Can I get a 4-drop? Oh my god, I actually got one. Now the problem is, if this is a mirror entity, I'm totally fucked. So I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna play Raid Leader. Hope I figured out a mirror entity, and I didn't. That sucks. Well, let's kill this, see if it's a duplicate. Now you might say, Boris, why aren't you enraging your Berserker? The thing is, I don't care about enraging the Berserker. I don't need 3 extra damage. What I want is my creature to be as healthy as possible. Alright, so I'm at 24, she's at 27. I'm actually below her in health because of all my Stormforged axing. Alright, so Feral Spirit's not great to play here if the Raging Organ lives, but the Raging Organ shouldn't live. I could play Totem and a Feral Spirit, or I could play the Violet Teacher. I'm going to play the Violet Teacher. I think it's important to get this guy down. Or lady down, I guess. We'll trade my Berserker for her Berserker, so thanks, Raid Leader. And I don't want to pop this shield off. If she wants to pop into it and ping me, ping it to finish it off, that's fine. I'm just going to hit her in the face and call it a day. So hopefully the Violet Teacher lives and I can play Feral Spirit, which is really good. Though, of course, everything dies to Flame Strike. That won't be for another 2 turns at least. This deck does not hold up well to mass removal, that's for sure. Alright, so she is going to ping this, so I basically got 2 extra damage out. She's going to kill my Violet Teacher. Hard to do with 3 mana. She plays her other Squire and Frostbolts. I see, so she's going to bring it down slowly and prevent me from killing off her Squire. Fair enough. Stormpike Commando I think is not as good here as Feral Spirit, so I'll play that. Get a bunch of stuff, protect my Violet Teacher. And I could either play a Totem or the Axe. Let's go ahead and play the Axe. I'm okay with hitting an Argent Squire even against a Mage. It does mean I'm overloaded for 3, so I cannot play the Stormpike Commando next turn. Actually, maybe I should have... Yeah, I should have kept the mana open so I could play the Stormpike Commando now. If I don't draw anything good, then I won't have anything to do with my turn. Haunted Creeper is very irritating. I really wish I had a Silence. That's what you want against Haunted Creepers, is silence. Alright, I got a Panda. Well, what I'm going to do is the following. We're going to hit that and that to kill it. And then, do I want to try to bring down these spiders? I don't think so. I think what I really want to do is this. We're going to pop the Divine Shield, kill the Squire again, and I'm going to play this Panda to protect the Violet Teacher. So if she has a Flame Strike, it's still really, really good for her because it will kill 3 of my cards. However, the plus side, trying to look on the bright side here, is that she will then have used up her whole turn, and I will still be fine on cards. She'll have 4 cards, Spider plus 3 in her hand, to my soon-to-be 5 cards, plus the Axe. So I'll be doing alright card-wise. If she doesn't have Flame Strike here, I'm even better. So I think this is a good situation to be in, or at least as good as I could hope for with a deck that I apparently significantly overrated the effectiveness of. Alright, well, she's thinking a lot. She's either thinking because it's a bad situation and because she doesn't have Flame Strike, or she's thinking because she does have Flame Strike, is concerned I'm going to be ahead anyway, and is thinking to see if she can do anything better. Haunted Creeper is a very strong card, but it does not do very well against these Spirit Wolves. Alright, she plays the Warrior, which is what she wants to play here. It's a 3 toughness card, and then she plays another high toughness card. So that was actually really good. Considering she didn't have Flame Strike, that was a really good turn of events for her. She chooses not to do anything else with her Spider. Okay. So I could make a Totem here and hope for spell damage. The problem is, if it's not spell damage, I'm going to regret that I made the Totem. Really regret it. Tricky situation. I want spell damage for the Lava Burst to kill the Elemental. That's what I want. Alright. Don't know if this is the right move, but it's the move I'm going to make. I'm going to hit this guy. Throw away a wolf. And yes, that was intentional. I did not want to take 3 extra damage because I am facing against a mage. I'm going to run the panda into the elemental. And I'm going to use the Stormpike Commando to shoot it to death. I'm going to ignore her spider. I'm just going to hit her in the face. And I'm going to play the Unbend Elemental next. So this could grow to 3-5 because I do have an overload card here with this Lava Burst. Sucks that this panda's going to die, but on the other hand, I've still got good board presence, and she appears not to have a Flame Strike, barring top decks. Card-wise, we're about the same. I really wish this deck did have a bit more card draw. That would be nice.
What to do? What to do?
Okay, so that was an easy choice. That means doesn't mean she's not playing Flame Strike. She could still play Blizzard. No, she would have not. She would have played a Blizzard and not pinged if she had Blizzard. All right, the Archmage is good. It's just a 4/7. I am gonna hex that. She chooses to throw her spider away, which is fair enough, I suppose. All right, so let's do the Violet Teacher.
Pay attention, class.
Spell damage, Lava Burst still won't kill this, so we are just gonna hex this guy. And instead of Murloc Tidehunter, which would be a little bit aggressive, let's just go ahead and make a totem. Spell damage is nice, although too late. And let's see, we will use this to kill the Froggy. This to kill one spider. And I don't see the point of running into the other spider with this guy, because it'll get pinged to death, and it is technically being protected by a taunt. So I'm going to hit her in the face, get some damage through. Sadly, there's no Bloodlust in this deck, but if she goes one more turn without clearing my board, she will be in trouble, because I've got, assuming she pings this guy, 3, 6 with Lava Burst, 10, 12, 18 damage. That's a lot of damage. Alright, that throws a wrench into things, so if it's Counterspell or Ice Armor, I don't do as well. She's going to actually ping my wolf and throw away the spider fort, which actually makes a lot of sense. I should have realized she would do that. Alright, Faceless Manipulator. I could make another Violet Teacher, but the problem is I'd actually run out of room on the board. I could Lava Burst and then Faceless Manipulator this guy. Or Faceless Manipulator him first and then Lava Burst. Let's see, can I kill her? If I Faceless Manipulator my spell damage totem, this would deal 7 damage. So 7, 11... plus 3 is 14, 16, 17. No, I wouldn't kill her, and there's also, this is a Counterspell or Ice Armor, so yeah, I don't want to do that. Alright, hopefully it's not Counterspell or Spellbender. Let's just go ahead and kill this Elemental. Okay, it's not. Check for Vaporize and Ice Armor with this little guy. It's not that either. So it's likely a mirror entity. That's what it likely is. I don't even want to play any creatures, really. I've got a full board with my totems. Let's just hit her a bunch. And, okay, she's got one more turn to get Flame Strike. If she gets Flame Strike here, she's in good shape, actually. She's in fine shape. Other than her health being low, she is in fine shape. Because everything would be dead, and I would not be able to repopulate the board very well. Okay, seems like she does not have Flame Strike. So she's not conceding, which that means I'm not going to say well played, because there's actually a chance here that what she has is Ice Block. Hilarious. I have a 1-mana Sea Giant, but I can't play it. What I will do, though, is I will actually throw my little totem away and play Sea Giant in its stead. Seems good. Oh, it's a mirror entity. Right, I forgot about that. Oh, Jesus. Well, anyway, that means it's not Ice Block, so she's dead. Right, yes. So she was dead unless she had Ice Block, because I knew it wasn't Vaporize or Ice Armor, and the fact that it's mirror entity makes no difference. Okay, cool. Zippity-doo-dah, and I got my other daily quest. I'm actually out of daily quests now, and also out of time in this video. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe if you did, and I'll see you again soon. Later today, in fact. Take care.